Hi everyone, it's Cindy from True North Style. I'm back from my little internet hiatus. I took a little break to kind of detox from social media and the internet, and then it ended up being a lot longer of a break from YouTube than I wanted. So I'm so happy to be back. I'm going to be doing the Nifty Thrifty tag today. It's a tag I've wanted to do forever. It was going around probably about a year, maybe even 2 years ago, and I was tagged and I just never got around to doing it. So today's the day. So I'm an avid thrifter. I've been thrifting probably since like 1995, 96, like that's what, 20 years. So I have a lot of goodies to show you. The very first question is, what is the most expensive thrift store item you've ever purchased? So I have two items that I've bought in the last year that were definitely a bit pricey. The first are these vintage cherry Clemency Doc Martens. They are the vintage style, which has the plastic heel. They have remade these with a rubber heel, and they're no longer made in England like these ones are. The remakes run for about $130, $120 depending on where you live, and the made in England docs that they do now are around $200 or more dollars. So even though these were 40 bucks, I thought they were a great deal. I have bought a pair of vintage ones on eBay and I paid around $100 for those. So still a great deal, even though they were a little bit pricey for a thrift store item. The other most expensive item that I have is also my biggest deal, probably the best thing I've ever thrifted in my life. And I've never shown this on YouTube, but I have shown it on Instagram. It is this vintage Chanel suede backpack. I've seen it on some resale sites. It retails on those sites for between like $700 and $1,000, and I got it for $67. So yes, very expensive for a thrift store item, but for Chanel, amazing. And it is authentic. It has a lot of the like security code things inside, and also just the quality. I do own a little suede Chanel chain bag, which I bought many years ago resale, and it is very comparable in the quality. Okay, next thing is the least expensive thing that you've ever bought. So I have a lot of like basic little baby tees and things I bought over the years that were like $1, $2. This little cropped black sweater that I'm wearing, this was about, I think it was $1.50 or $2 because I got it on a sale day. But it's really difficult to find anything at the thrift stores where I live in Toronto less than $4. I mean, it's pretty much impossible to find something for $4 when it comes to clothing. But one thing you can always find is good housewares. So this is one of my favorite mugs. It's like a homemade stoneware, I guess, or earthenware mug. This was about $2, but it's like handcrafted. It's gorgeous. I love this. And then the vinyl that isn't priced high for being rare. There was actually a Nine Inch Nails album at my local thrift store for $300 the other day, which is insanity. But normally the records are $2. So I got this Edie Brickell record, which has What I Am on it, and it has Circle, which are two of my favorite of her songs. And I got this Nina Cherry Buffalo Stance single, which is an amazing song. Alright, moving on, my favorite thing I've ever bought. Well, besides the things I've already mentioned, any kind of black, comfortable boots are always a great find. This is my most recent pair that I found. They're from Town Shoes. They're like little engineer boots. They're so cute. This part kind of is loose, so when you wear like tights or skinny jeans, it looks really adorable with this part kind of scrunching down. And yeah, they're just really, really cute. They're incredibly dirty because I literally just wore them in the rain the other day, which is probably not a good idea for leather boots, but whatever. They were, I think, $13.50. Other things that are my favorites, this Woolrich coat. This is an amazing women's buffalo plaid. I got this for $20. If you know Woolrich, their coats are all made in America, so they are expensive. I think they go for over $200. I love this one. I've worn it like all winter long. This is one of my go-tos. It is a bit oversized, but it's a women's medium, so it's not like it's huge on me. It's kind of the look of it, and I love wearing it with like a big scarf, and it looks great with skinnies. And then another favorite of mine are any kind of 90s floral dresses. I'm obsessed with them. I have so many. This is probably one of my all-time faves, this little blue one. It's super cute. It's always great when you don't have to alter something, and this one just fit me perfectly. And yeah, I wear this one quite a bit. It's one of my go-tos. I love mini backpacks. That Chanel one is kind of a mini backpack. I have many from Roots. This is the tiny one from Roots that I found for about, I think it was $8, and this retails for $125 in the store. So such a huge deal and one of my all-time go-tos for summer. This is the bigger size. You can see for comparison. This one's always filled to the brim and super heavy, so this one helps me like be a little bit lighter with things, and it's still that amazing Roots leather quality. So I highly recommend these if you can find them. They are the best. The last of my favorites I wanted to mention is a graphic tee. It's so hard to find graphic tees where I live. I think there's just a lot of people that resell in Toronto that are going to thrift stores to sell on eBay or to sell in vintage stores. So vintage tees are one of the easiest things to resell. So they're always, you never find anything. But one day I went thrifting like way up north and I found this Nirvana vintage t-shirt. It's from the Muddy Banks era. So like later 90s, kind of when they were releasing their live record. After Kurt Cobain had already passed, but it's one of my favorite shirts, and I paid, I don't even know, like $5, maybe $4 for it, and I know that on eBay sometimes a shirt goes for well over $100, so it's always amazing when I can find a graphic tee of a band that I love, and this one I wear all the time. Yeah, love that. Okay, moving on to my most regretted purchase. So the biggest thing for me is when I buy things that I'm like, ooh, pretty, and then it's just not my style. This is a perfect example. It's like a velvet blue button down, but like it's just really kind of big and frumpy, especially with something vintage. Like if I see vintage 90 pieces, I'm like, oh, I'll buy it, and it's like a ruffly blouse, and I'm just not a ruffly kind of girl. So yeah, those are definitely the bigger regrets when I make those impulse purchases. What I do sometimes is buy stuff that's too small for me because I really love it. These shoes are just like the perfect mules. I'm obsessed with them. They're so comfortable, but they're 7.5. I'm an 8.5, maybe 9. Because they don't have backs, I was like, oh, I can get away with it, but it just does not look good. I just wish that these were a size bigger. Like, I love them so much. So yeah, that was a big regret of mine. More so that like it was heartbreaking that they didn't fit me. But yeah, my favorite thrift store. So I started thrifting at Value Village. That's where my thrift journey started. It's always been my favorite. I have to say over recent years, I find that it's just getting more and more expensive there. And now Tali's is my favorite. They're very much more curated store. You never see anything kind of run down there. The prices can be higher, but it's never too much for the item on it. You know, like Value Village, sometimes something will be $20 and it's like falling apart. It's kind of stupid just because it has a certain brand. And Tali's always has like a point system, or they have sales every single day. So whenever you go there, there's always something on sale, 50% off. And there's always points you can collect towards getting dollars off and stuff. They just really take care of their customers, I think, a little bit better than Value Village. And they're harder to find there. There's not as many stores. I always go to Tali's when I go to the suburbs and have a really good luck there. So I love that store, and I always like Value Village, especially suburban Value Village where the prices are much better, but my local one I'm kind of annoyed with at the moment. So yeah, anyway, those are my favorites. Next is your weirdest item you've ever bought. This nightgown that I found. It's a silky Bart Simpson nightie. It says Springfield Skate Crew on it. I don't know how anyone would find this sexy, but I guess that's what it's supposed to be. Maybe someone who's into skateboarding or cartoons, but I just thought it was hilarious and I had to buy it. And then the last thing that's kind of weird, but also amazing, is this tight peplum dress. So it has a little peplum, and then it goes into a mini, it has a low back, and it's kind of this wild, I don't know, like floral pop art print. It's original Betsey Johnson from the 80s. It has her rebel punk kind of label. And it was really inexpensive. It was under $10. So I had to get this just for the fashion history of it. It's not really me. It's very 80s. But I could definitely wear it to like a Halloween kind of thing. I could be someone from like the B-52s or something. And I think like just for the gorgeous quality of it, and actually does look really good on me, I had to buy it, but it is a little out there for my style. But yeah, that's so cool. To number 7, the most worn thing. So besides many of the things I've already mentioned, the boots, the backpack, the Woolrich coat, some of my most worn things are my denim jackets. I got both of these at the thrift store. I've worn them in many videos. This is my vintage Levi's one, oversized, that I absolutely love. This is my vintage Gap one, which I've worn in many, many videos. I absolutely love. Obviously, another summer staple, cut-off denim. These are Levi's 501s. Mine that I wear all the time are men's thermals. This is one I got recently. It's a Chicago Bulls one. I love these oversized thermals. I wear them with denim shorts in the summer. I wear them with leggings. Obviously, the flannel. I have a million vintage flannels from the thrift store. I wear them all the time. I wear them as jackets. I wear them tied around my waist. I mean, you know the drill. Next is your best thrift experience. So any day that I can go to the thrift store, multiple thrift stores in a day, especially when I take trips like outside of town and I find amazing things, I'm happy, you know? Anytime when I'm not rushed and I just like, I'm in the mood to just shop, are good days thrifting. Obviously when you find stuff that doesn't need to be altered, it's incredible, because I do buy a lot of dresses that I get hemmed and taken in or whatever. So when I can find stuff perfectly altered to me, amazing, or on sale, amazing. But probably my favorite like singular experience was when I went to Seattle. I went to the Value Village in Capitol Hill, and it was an amazing store. The prices were amazing. I got this flannel, which is just this oversized blue plaid. This I wear all the time as a coat. I wore it all the time on that road trip. I love this piece. And just like flannel from Seattle in Capitol Hill, where like so many of the people that I admire musically used to live and hang out. It's also the thrift store where they filmed the thrift shop video from Macklemore, and it's actually closing down, which is really sad. So I got to go there and be a part of that like vibe, and just find really cool stuff. This was like $3. I was just super stoked. Okay, next the question is best deal. Okay, anything I can find that's like designer or like higher end, like these pieces. This is a Free People slip dress. These go for about $100 here in Canada, and I got this for maybe $8. These are a pair of Aritzia kind of like paper waist trousers. These I was on the hunt on forever because they don't make them anymore, and I ended up finding them for 10 bucks at the thrift store, and these retailed again for like $100. Another favorite of mine are these Patagonia fleeces, and I found both of these ones I'm going to show you for $10 or less. This is a purple one, and this black one, which is like brand new. And these go for again 100 bucks. Even vintage, they always sell really high. Next is the longest owned item. That has to be these pants. They are vintage Adidas track pants. I have had these, like you can tell, like just how worn they are. I have had these since probably 1996. Like I used to wear these every day after school. After I took off my uniform, I'd put these on. When I first started thrifting, that was one of the things that we always looked for. And I had quite a few vintage Adidas pieces from that time period, all of which I've gotten rid of, except for these, which I kind of regret now because I probably could have sold them for a lot of money. But yeah, these are kind of a mess, but I love them and I will never get rid of them. And lastly, it's your favorite thrifted trend. I mean, anything 90s. That's why I go to the thrift store. That's what I always look for. Cropped items, high-waisted jeans, high-waisted pants, skirts, mini skirts, little 90s floral dresses, little 90s like plaid dresses, flannels. Like that's what I live for at the thrift store. I'm just so glad that it's easy to find that still. I know it's gonna get harder and harder, but I love that stuff. That's my jam. So that brings me to the end of the tag. So happy to be back. If you're looking for a vinyl video, it'll be next. And I love you guys. I'll see you soon.